31 days of new horror movies, and day 11, I watched Terrifier 3 at the theaters. So I'm not going to go all goo goo gaga over this like you guys did, saying it's a perfect film and the best one, because it wasn't for me. Did it have great gore? Yes, of course. Well, did they go over the top? Of course they did. Was it fantastic in gore? Yes, it was. There was a lot of great unalivings, creative and different from the other ones. So that part I loved. I even liked how they made him a little more comedic, even though it takes away a little bit for me for the horror, to be actually scared. I wasn't as scared because, he was funny, but I like that part about him. He almost reminds me of Freddy Krueger, how you kind of almost like him because he's, makes jokes and stuff. But I just felt like in this film, too, there was a lot of unanswered stuff. Like, what happened to the little girl at the beginning? What happened to the pale girl from part 2 that walked off with his head? What happened? Why is the girl from part 1 now coming back? Like, I was a little confused on that. And then they had 2 death scenes that were off camera that we never got to see. I mean, if you're going to be the most brutal, goriest movie ever, why did you leave those 2 death scenes off? Like, why would you do that? I don't get it. I mean, did they get cut? Did you go too far and you had to cut them? Or was the movie too long and you had to cut them? Are we going to get an uncut version? Because I'm buying that one. But, yeah, and people said that this was the best one. Not for me. Number 1 will always be the best because that scene in the diner, that was a masterpiece to me. That was the most amazing scene in horror for me. That diner scene. I just loved it. And I loved the retro feel of that movie. And I also loved, of course, I loved the scene where he cuts the girl in half. I mean, that forever will be the best, goriest moment to me. Now, in 2, I really liked 2, but the ending got all goofy on me. 2 would probably be my least favorite. And, but I have to say, everybody said he topped the gore. And I don't know. In 2, that one scene with that girl in the room where he just went on and on and on and on, torturing and, unaliving her. I don't think they topped that in 3. I don't think they topped it. I mean, did they have a lot of great unalivings and a lot of torture and gore? Yes, they did. But I don't think it topped that scene. I don't think it did. But I would put them in the order as 1 first, 3, and then 2. And then All Hallows Eve. I was going to give this a 4 out of 5 because it was not perfect, but I did love it. I still loved it. I just didn't like all the unanswered questions. Now they're coming out with a part 4. They're already saying this. So will these questions be answered in 4? Is he holding out till 4? Or like I said, an uncut version? We shall see. If you have answers for me, let me know in the comments, like and share, or else I'm sending the clown to your house.